artist friends, are you ready to draw something great? Today I'd like to show you how to draw some backgrounds for Native American drawings that you might like to do. One of my favorite illustrators that really shows Native Americans in the most beautiful illustrations is Paul Globe. This book, The Girl Who Loved Horses, actually won the Caldecott Award for pictures back in the 70s. He has many, many books about different tribes of Native Americans, and I love the way that he does his illustrations. So today we're going to look at this book, and I'd like to just kind of show you a background with some desert landscape, some teepees, some ravens, and a beautiful sun, so that you can do some Native American art. If you live in Utah, like my kids do, we study Utah history, and so we study an Indian unit. I actually used this book for my fourth graders, and we did a huge collaborative mural on the wall of our school, and all of the students in all three classes got to help draw teepees and horses and flowers and birds, and it is spectacular. So I'd like to show you how to do that a little bit today. I think you're really going to enjoy this as we do a Native American landscape. So let's start off with the background, and we're going to draw the tops of the hills in the desert. We've got some tall towers and some plateaus. And I am from Utah, so I've seen some of these beautiful places in person, and they're awesome. So we're going to just start off at the background here, and I'm going to kind of draw a curved line, and then I'm going to go up, and I'm just going to make a little bit of wiggly lines like this and kind of indent, and then kind of go down and then up again. So I'm making kind of a tall rock and a cross and a little bit of some dents, and maybe one more over here. Okay, so that is our background. And when you color this or paint this in, you can look at some pictures of red rocks from Arizona or from Utah or Nevada and kind of see that landscape. Like look up Bryce Canyon or Goblin Valley or Arches National Park to see how to color this in. Okay, now let's add a couple of teepees. So I love how Paul Globe does his teepees. They're not just a triangle, and I thought this was really fun to show my students. So the first that we're going to do is we're going to draw a line that goes like this and then back up again. So just that little V. Now from here, I'm going to come down, and I'm going to go right off the page because we're going to kind of come close in those teepees. And then over here, I'm going to come down to there, and then, well, maybe down a little bit further. So see how we've come out right here? I'm going to kind of imagine that I'm coming out right here. So I'm going to start right there and then come down. Now these teepees are held up by a bunch of tent poles in the middle. So then we get to draw some thin sticks kind of crossing different ways coming out of the top of the teepee. And on the top of the sticks, they tied pieces of fabric, colored fabric and ribbon. And so we're just going to go, not ribbon, but fabric. Excuse me, probably not ribbon back then. So we're just going to draw a little line and a little bit of fabric coming off. Okay, now the fun part is that you get to design whatever you want on this teepee. So for instance, you could do stripes, you could do some dots, and then maybe stripes. Whatever kind of pattern you want to do, you can choose. And that'll make it really fun to color in. Okay, let's just draw a couple more. I don't want to make it exactly the same height so that it's interesting, so this time I'm going to draw it shorter. So remember, we started off like this. We did a curve and back up, and then I'm going to draw down right there. And I'm going to come out like this, down a little bit like that, and then out this other way. And there's our teepee. Remember, you can push the space bar or the pause button if you need to slow down and give that a try, and then as soon as you're ready, just push play again and join me. Okay, now let's draw those sticks that come out of the top of the teepees. So we're just drawing long, skinny sticks that are curved at the top, coming out of that teepee, and some of them can kind of cross over each other, and then just draw a little bit of fabric hanging off a few of them. Now notice that I'm doing all of my fabric the same way because that shows that there's some wind and all of them are going this way. So you're usually not going both ways at the same time, different directions, they're going the same direction. So if you started off going this way, you need to kind of do all of them going that way. Okay, now this one I'm going to do a little bit of a different texture. So on this one, I think I'll do some lines like this. But remember, you can choose any pattern that you want. Okay. There we go. All right, should we do one more teepee? And then we make sure that we really know how to do it, right? So let's draw down and back up. We're going straight down and straight down. And then let's just go out and out. Okay, once again, pick whatever pattern you want. This part was so fun when we did the mural. Every class got to draw a few different things, and it was 10 feet long. So one class drew teepees, and one class drew all the birds, and one class worked on the sun, and then they all got to color it in together. I think it's one of my favorite projects that I've done at the school. Okay, so we've got some teepees in there. Now let's just add a little bit of foliage at the bottom, which just means what type of plants are there between these teepees. So I'm just going to add kind of just some bumpy lines like this, like a bush. And then I'm just going to do a few more like this inside. All right? And maybe some over here. Okay, and then I just want to draw a couple of interesting leaves. I'm going to go like this. And I'm just going to draw some straight lines. And I'm going to kind of put some lines off that. So I'm kind of drawing like these lines that are tangled, and then I just want to add some little circular leaves on there. And you can fill in okay, so we've got a bush over there, and then over here, let's do some taller lines like this, and this time let's add some leaves that go on either side of it like this. Okay, so there we have a little bit of flora, or flowers, or plants, what we like to call it. And now I want to flip to a different page and draw a cool bird in the sky. And I love these birds that Paul Globe does in the background. So I'm going to kind of come up here in the sky a little bit, and I'm going to draw a curved line like this. And then I'm going to just do a little triangle for the beak. And now let's do the wings. They're very simple. We're going to draw a curve this way and one this way. And follow that like this. And now we're going to put this nice point on the top. We're going to come out and in, out and in. And then we can just put a little bit of a stripe on there. And now let's draw the tail feather. 2 triangles coming out like that. Now, you can add some stripes there, and you can add some details here if you like, and then you can try that again. And you can do some the same size. This is pretty big, so he's kind of close up, but if you draw some farther away, you want to make them smaller. So this time I'm going to draw a smaller one, and maybe I won't be able to see the details as much because it's in the distance, and then that will make it look like it's farther away. So I'm going to do a little bit of a smaller bird back there. And in the very background, I can actually go like this and just draw down, up, and that will show that birds are really far away. Okay, now let's add a few details and then the sun, which is my favorite part. On these red rocks, when you look at a real picture of these type of rocks, they have lines in them from where what used to be, and as it erodes and wind, then they kind of get these great lines. So I'm just going to come along and draw some different lengths of lines coming on both sides of my rocks. And that's going to help this look realistic, like this desert landscape. There we go. Okay, and now I want to draw, probably my favorite part of this book is this last page right here with the sun and all these spikes that come out. It's so beautiful, and this was probably their favorite part to paint of the mural. So I am going to, I think I'll put it right here and make it big. I'm going to draw a nice big circle, and then I'm just going to draw some skinny triangles all the way around it. Like that. And then from here, I'm going to do a dash line. And a dash line is just a short broken line. And I'm going to go each time until I reach the edge of my paper. Now, as we get over here, we've got to pretend that it's right through this rock. So you need to imagine where the lines would be coming out. And each time I do a line, it's going to come out a little bit farther and a little bit flatter. And as you're coloring this part in, you can do all different colors. Okay. All right, I think we've got a good background for a Native American landscape. Now, you could add horses in there, you could add a buffalo, you could add an Indian, and this would be a great thing to look at if maybe you need to make something for a school project as you're learning about Native Americans. You could look up any picture you want in a Paul globe and try this type of background for your next project or just for fun. I hope you had a great time today with this tutorial. I really love to do these kind of landscapes, and I hope you will too. And I will see you next time on the next video for Great Artist Mom. See you later. Bye. Thanks for watching this video. Please like it and subscribe to my channel for weekly guided drawing updates and videos, and also tips and tricks for parents and educators so that you can help your youngest artists become a great artist. Also, follow Great Artist Mom on all social media. Thanks for watching. Bye.